What actually matters in your 20s? Your 20s can feel like a confusing in-between space, not quite the carefree world of adolescence, but not yet the stability of full-blown adulthood either. Social media, pop culture, and even well-meaning people around you often paint this decade as a race against time. Graduate by 22, land your dream job by 23, get into a serious relationship by 25, own a house by 28, and start a family by 30. But that timeline? It's fiction, a glossy narrative sold as reality. The truth is far more complex, far messier, and far more beautiful. If you've ever felt behind, confused, or like everyone else is doing life right, while you're stuck trying to figure out how to cook pasta without setting off the smoke alarm, you're not alone. Let's dismantle the myths and talk honestly about what actually matters in your 20s. Letting go of the myth of having it all figured out. One of the most damaging lies told to people in their 20s is the idea that this is the decade where you should know what you're doing. There's a dangerous cultural narrative that being successful means having a 5-year plan, being in the perfect job, in the perfect relationship, with a clear roadmap for the rest of your life. But in reality, nobody truly has it all figured out. Not at 25, not at 30, and sometimes not even at 50. The myth of certainty is just that, a myth. When you let go of the belief that you're supposed to have everything sorted by a certain age, you give yourself the freedom to explore without shame. You begin to understand that uncertainty isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign that you're growing. The people who seem the most confident often have the same doubts you do. They're just navigating them privately. This mindset shift, from needing clarity to embracing curiosity, is life-changing. It gives you room to breathe, to try, to fail, to change your mind. Because the truth is, life isn't a checklist, it's a process. And your 20s are the very beginning of that process, not the final destination. The Identity Laboratory. Experiment without apology. Your 20s are not about defining yourself once and for all. They are about running experiments with your career, your values, your passions, your lifestyle, and even your personality. This decade gives you the rare opportunity to try different things with relatively low risk. You're old enough to be independent, but young enough that most missteps won't ruin your life. They'll teach you. This time should be messy. You might start a job thinking it's your dream, only to realize it makes you miserable. You might fall in love and later discover that the person you're with isn't aligned with your values anymore. That's not failure, and that's feedback. Every new experience gives you insight into who you are and who you're not. Instead of chasing one true self, embrace the idea that you contain many possible selves. Each version of you, the traveler, the artist, the entrepreneur, the quiet introvert, the passionate activist, can offer something valuable. And changing your mind isn't a weakness. It's a sign that you're paying attention. You're growing. So stop asking yourself, what should I do with my life? And start asking, what can I try next? That single question opens doors instead of shutting them. It permits you to explore the unknown. And that's where the most powerful transformations happen. Quality over quantity in relationships. In your teens, friendships often happen by default. You bonded with people because you went to the same school, lived in the same neighborhood, or had the same extracurriculars. But in your 20s, your world expands, and with that comes a more important lesson. Not all relationships are created equal, and not all of them deserve your continued investment. This is the decade where you begin to truly understand the difference between proximity and connection. You learn that just because someone's been in your life a long time doesn't mean they're still right for you. You notice which relationships drain you and which ones fill your cup. You become more protective of your time and energy and more intentional about who gets access to it. Relationships, whether friendships, romantic, or even professional, require effort. They don't just magically sustain themselves, but not every relationship is meant to be sustained. Some people were meant to teach you something and move on. Others were meant to walk the longer road with you. The key is learning to tell the difference. What matters is not how many people are in your life, but whether the people who are there support your growth, challenge you to be better, and love you as you change. Letting go of the wrong relationships isn't cruel. It's necessary. You're not abandoning people. You're choosing to protect your peace. Redefining success. It's not a checklist. It's a feeling. It's easy to measure your life against what society says success should look like. The job title, the salary, the car, the wedding, the house. But here's the thing. None of those things guarantee fulfillment. Plenty of people check every box and still feel lost. Success, when defined externally, becomes a trap. It's constantly shifting and always just out of reach. But when you redefine success on your terms, as peace, alignment, purpose, joy, everything changes. You stop chasing what looks good and start pursuing what feels right. Maybe success for you is a modest life with deep relationships. Maybe it's creating something meaningful, even if it doesn't go viral. Maybe it's simply waking up each morning and feeling content with who you are becoming. Your 20s are the time to tune out the noise and ask yourself, what do I actually value? What makes me come alive? What do I want to create, build, give, or experience? The more honest you are about your version of success, the easier it becomes to navigate your choices. Learning to be alone without feeling lonely. Modern culture puts a premium on being busy, surrounded, and connected. And yet many of us feel lonelier than ever. Learning to enjoy your own company is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in your 20s. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or avoiding people. It means becoming whole on your own, rather than constantly seeking someone else to complete you. It means being okay with taking yourself out for coffee, traveling solo, or spending a quiet weekend with your thoughts. When you learn to be alone without feeling empty, you build a deep-rooted confidence that nothing else can replace. Aloneness allows you to hear your voice. It's where you reflect, heal, and get reacquainted with your intuition. And yes, loneliness may visit from time to time. It's human. But if you sit with it instead of escaping it, you'll often find that it passes, and in its place grows something stronger. Self-trust. Building emotional resilience. You will fail, and that's okay. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the soil that success grows from. In your 20s, you will likely face more rejections, wrong turns, and false starts than you can count. And that's a good thing. This is your training ground, the decade where you fall, get up, and learn how to stand stronger. Emotional resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about facing hard things and saying, I can survive this. I can grow from this. Whether it's a job that didn't work out, a relationship that broke your heart, or a dream that didn't unfold the way you hoped, none of it is wasted. Every experience adds to your emotional toolkit. You learn how to cope, how to reflect, and most importantly, how to keep going. So don't fear failure. Fear stagnation. Fear never trying. Fear living a life so safe that you never grow. Your 20s will humble you, but they will also shape you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. Investing in yourself. The highest ROI. In your 20s, the most important project you'll ever work on is you. Not your resume, not your online presence. You. Now is the time to cultivate the habits, skills, and mindsets that will carry you into the rest of your life. Learn how to manage your money. Take your mental health seriously. Start moving your body in ways that feel good. Read books that challenge your perspective. Say no when you need to. Ask for help when you need to. The investments you make in yourself now, in your well-being, your passions, your personal growth, compound over time. They don't always offer immediate rewards, but they pay off in ways that deeply matter. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. Be willing to learn. Be open to change. Show up for yourself, especially on the days it's hard. The bottom line, your 20s are not a race to some imaginary finish line. They're not about impressing others or sticking to a script. They're about becoming, slowly, imperfectly, authentically. What matters isn't how put together you look, how impressive your life seems, or how closely you follow the timeline. What matters is how deeply you know yourself, how bravely you live your truth, how open you are to learning, and how willing you are to start over, again and again, if needed. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more insightful content, and let us know in the comments.